Hey everybody, this is Jeanette from Sequoia View Stables, and this is JC, and today is all about how to groom a horse. The first brush we're going to use is a curry comb. So it's round in shape, and it's made of rubber, and that's the way we use it to brush. So this curry comb has got knobby teeth, and it's used to pull mud and hair away from the horse's skin and coat. So you put your hand in here. And this brush is meant to be pressed relatively hard, since you can also use it to massage your horse's muscles. Use it to get all of the mud over all of the stains. Underneath. Oh man, you're dirty underneath. And the crazier faces they make, the better it feels. You don't want to go anything lower than their knee or their hock with this curry comb. So the next brush we're going to use is the body brush, and this brush is short and straight, and that's the same motion that we use when we're brushing them. So this brush is used to flick off all of the dirt and the loose hair that we brought up with the curry comb. See? And this brush you can use all the way down past their knees and their hocks, between their legs. This is a safe, soft enough brush to do so, but we don't want to use it on their face. These stiff bristles are a little bit too hard for their face. So this one you want to use all the way down their body, all the way down their legs. And this one you want to use in the same direction their hair is growing. So if their hair is growing this way, you want to flick the hair in the same direction. And this body brush, it actually brings up the lanolin and the natural oils in the horse, and actually helps to make their coat shiny and soft. So the next brush we use is probably one you have similar in your house. This is a mane and tail brush. And just like your mane and tail, or just like your brush at home, the mane and tail brush is used to brush out the tangles and the knots and all of the extra little dirt pieces and shavings and stuff out of their mane and their tail. And just like a normal brush, you want to be able to brush from the roots down to the tip. And unlike our hair, a horse's mane and their tail don't have the same amount of nerve endings that we have, so you can pull relatively hard on their mane when you're brushing to get all those knots out. They're not going to worry about it too much. So that's her mane. She has a little mini mane, so it's not going to be too hard to brush. And don't forget their forelock in the front. She's got a little mini forelock. So for brushing their tail, you always want to be safe around their back end, just in case something happens that will surprise them or scare them. You want to stand basically at their hip, and you want to stand perpendicular to their side. So we want to have kind of a 90-degree angle to your hips. So for a horse, you want to be able to pull their tail to the side, and you want to do nice long strokes. So if your horse's tail is super knotted, what you can actually do is you can grab some detangler. We use mane and tail detangler here. So we just spray their tail. So be careful, sometimes horses don't like spray bottles or don't like the sound of the spray bottle. So make sure that you prepare your horse for any kind of a spraying noise, like pss, 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 sound. Put that one right there. And we're just gonna work that mane and tail from the top to the bottom. Or if they're super tangled, you can just do the bottom and then you work your way up. That makes their tail super soft and shiny and takes all of those knots out. So the next grooming tool that we're going to use is the Hoof Pick. So this is really important for making sure that your horse's feet are cleaned out, making sure there's no rocks or thrush or any foreign bodies like nails that are up inside of your horse's feet, and you always want to pick their feet before you ride. That's just a common thing that we do, or before we get them out and make them run around. So the hoof pick is just like a pick for your fingernails at home. You always want to make sure that you're facing back towards their tail. So when they pick up their foot is actually right at your face level instead of facing the other way and trying to maneuver it backwards. So we want to run your hand down to this tendon right here on their front leg. And there's a couple of things you can do to get them to pick up their foot. One, you can squeeze this tendon. So there's a bone right here. You can squeeze the tendon, and that will tell your horse to pick their foot up. That's one way. There's a chestnut right here. It's a big scabby part. Actually, it just came off. It looks like this. And this is just a big, it's made of the same material as your fingernails, but this is their chestnut. You can squeeze this up here, and that will get them to bring their foot up. Or another thing that you can do, good girl, JC, you want to put your foot back down? I know, I'm making you put your foot up. The other way that you can get their foot to pick up is if you grab these feathers down here and you pull. That is another way that you can get their foot to come up. And when their foot comes up, make sure that you hang on to their hoof. Okay, so the hoof pick, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can hold it like this and pick the horse's foot out this way. This is harder. Or you can bring it up towards their heel. I like to hold my hoof pick backwards, so that way I've got the bulk of the handle in my hand, and I can use the heel of my hand to be able to press down and get all of the dirt that's way down in there. So I actually like to work from the heel to the toe. You want to make sure that the horse's hoof is nice and clean, and there aren't any foreign things like rocks or nails or any kind of metal pieces that they could have stepped on. All right, so picking up a back foot is similar to the front, only we're going to be working with the back foot. We're going to put our hand up at their hip and slide our hand down towards this hock, towards the tendon here. And JC's already picking her foot up for me, so I'm going to keep holding her foot up. All right, so with this one, you want to hold their foot in your hand, and you can actually brace their back leg against your knee. That'll actually help when you're holding this big heavy hoof up. And then again, you want to be pulling all of that dirt out of their hoof, and you want to make sure that you pull out all of the dirt there, going towards their toe or going towards the heel if they've got a space that you can be able to do that. Some horses, if they have shoes, you can pull it out that way because the shoe sits right on this edge. But she's barefoot, so she doesn't have any shoes. Thank you for joining JC and I on how to groom your horse. If you liked what you saw and you'd like to learn more, please hit the subscribe button to be notified every time that we post a new video. If you have any questions or comments or things you'd like me to do the next video on, please put that down in the comment section. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your day and enjoy the ride.